Good morning, children. In the last video, we were talking about the charges, properties of charges. That was discussed. Now, when these charges flow, when these charges move, what will happen? Because the properties of charges can be discussed in two conditions: by taking them at rest or by taking them in motion. Here we will discuss that what happens when these charges move through a material from one place to another place. In this concept, we get the term electric current. So, what actually the electric current is? It is easily defined. The amount of charges flows through a conductor per unit time. Means we need the conductor. Conductor, insulators, these things were discussed in the earlier classes also. Conductor means those materials which allow the charges to flow through them easily, through which the charges can be flow easily without any opposition. But in that conductor also some opposition presents, that we will discuss in the later topics. Now, conductor is required for the flow of charges. Suppose we take, this is a conductor. This is the conductor. We take in the form of wire, that is in the cylindrical shape. Conductor, there are so many examples for conductor. Metals, they are the conductors, but their conductivity will change, will vary. Generally we take the metals. All the metals through which the charges can flow. And some other conductors also. That salt solutions, they are also conductors. Salt solutions. Then ionized gases. These are the some examples for the conductors. Here we talk about the metals as conductors. And in this metals also both the positive and the negative charges present. That in the normal condition, this conductor is also neutral. Neutral means it has both positive and negative charges. Then how the electric current flows through this conductor? For this, we'll see about that this conductor is also having many atoms. And in all the atoms, the atoms are having number of electrons. That number of electrons in the valence shell. If we take this is the conductor, that all the conductors will have the valence electrons 1 or 2 or 3. If it is the conductor, it will have the valence electrons either 1 or 2 or 3. That electrons are weakly attached to, weakly attracted to the nucleus. That's why these electrons are able to released, able to come out from the valence shell easily. Even at normal temperature also, even at room temperature also, these electrons are able to come out from the atom without supplying external energy. Extra energy, these electrons can come out. As these electrons come out from the atom, they become free. We are taking this has one electron in its outer shell, that is valence shell, and it is coming out. After coming out from the atom, it becomes free, that we call free electrons. Free electrons. So once the electron comes out, it becomes positive and the remaining atom become positive. So in this way, in every conductor, we are having the free electrons and the positive charges. The remaining atom become positive charge and the electrons which is released from the atom become free electron. Like this, we have so many free electrons in this. Billions, trillions of free electrons present inside the conductor. So that positive ions we are representing. The positive ions in the bigger size and the electrons with the dots. Dots. So here we are having negatively charged particle and positively charged particle. But that both the particles present inside the conductor, inside the material itself, which makes it neutral. Now it is not charged, it is still neutral. But the case is, these electrons are free electrons. Why do we say they are free electrons? These electrons can be easily moved through the conductor, through the material, from one place to another place. Then what about the positive ions? What about these positive charged particles? Since the positively charged particles, the positive ions are bigger in size compared to the electron, the positively charged particles are bigger in size. We consider they are at rest. They are at rest. So it means inside this conductor only free electrons are moving from one place to another place, not the positively charged particles. So it is better to represent only the electrons present inside the conductor. So we can represent the conductor only with the free electrons, because the positive ions remains at rest. So the free electrons present inside the conductor. Now we'll see, in the normal condition at room temperature, these free electrons are not at rest. They are still moving here and there randomly in all the directions. The free electrons, by getting the energy from the room temperature, they are moving continuously inside the material. If I assume this is the conductor, in this conductor also there are so many electrons present, they are continuously moving randomly in all the directions. So in all the directions they are moving randomly, their average velocity is 0. At the normal condition, the average velocity of all the electrons is zero. That's why we consider in the normal condition the electric current is not flowing. Now come to this, for this flow of electron. When does these electrons flow? Flow means they all have to move in the same directions. These electrons must move, must flow in the same direction along the straight line in a particular direction. Then only we say that the electric current is flowing. For this, the electrons cannot flow, cannot move in the same direction straight line on their own. The external agent, the external source for the flow of that electrons in the same direction, the external source or external agent is required. We'll discuss about that external agent, external source in the coming topic. Now we assume that that external source is applied. With the help of that external sources, that electrons are moving. That external source, that is obviously it is cell or battery. With the help of cell or battery, this is an external source. The electrons start to flow from one end to the other end. Let us assume that electron, that source is connected across this conductor with the help of wires. In this terminal is connected with the positive and this is connected with the negative. So for this conductor, now it becomes, this is the positive terminal, this is the negative terminal, because a cell always has two terminals. These things you have studied in the earlier classes also. So after connecting this conductor across the terminals of the source, now the electrons start to flow from one terminal to another terminal, from one end to another end. From which direction? So the electrons start to flow from negative to positive terminal, negative to positive side. So all the electrons start to move in this direction. Because the external source, the external agent is having the energy, With the help of this energy, the electrons are able to move from one end to another end. This flow of charge, this movement of electrons through the material from one end to another end is known as electric current. So electric current, it is represented by I. So electric current is the amount of charges. The amount of charges. Charges in the sense here we use that electrons. Amount of charges flows through a conductor per unit time. Per unit time. So simply mathematically we can use the term that is Q upon T. This is the simple formula for the electric current. So the electric current is defined as amount of charges flows through a conductor per unit time.